the thief of joy. And what we find when we study this is that people who compare themselves to other people more often, day to day, in a given day, you are less happy. And the people who don't compare themselves as much feel better about life and better about themselves.
How the heck do we stop? Isn't it human nature to compare yourself to somebody else?
It is human nature, but there are situations that pull for comparison and there are situations that don't.
And by pull, you mean it is triggering you to do it?
It makes us compare.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like we almost can't help it.
Yes.
Okay, so what pulls for comparison? Doom scrolling through social media pulls for comparison. When I look at other people's curated lives, other people's photos of beautiful meals or great vacations, and I compare it to my own mundane life of driving through traffic, I think, I'm not living my best life. Everybody else has it figured out, right?
Right.
So social media, if we consume it passively, pulls for comparison. But what about gardening? Right? What about bird watching? It doesn't really make us want to compare. It's just, oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
What would you say, though, to a 20-year-old that's listening to this? Because we have a huge range of listeners, and there's tons of families that share episodes back and forth, moms and dads sending to sons and daughters and vice versa. And so what would you say to the 20-year-old? Because the second that you said bird watching and gardening, which I'm going on an owl walking date with my husband, like a tour with a local thing in our community on Sunday. And
I love it.
And I can't wait. But if you had said bird watching and gardening to me,
forget it.
When I was in my 20s, I'd be like, delete, not listening to this anymore. So what do you say to somebody in their 20s who has grown up with a phone in their hand?
Yeah.
Who is now in a generation and in a life experience where everybody's outside life is on display and it makes you feel terrible on the inside about where you are?
And what I would say is make sure you're spending a lot of time in real life, a lot of time away from your phone, or at least with your phone in your pocket, never taking it out, with people in activities that you love. So what are the activities that you love? Is it playing basketball? It could be just hanging out with your friends doing nothing. I actually heard a story today on NPR about how video games can put some people into a state of flow where they're just in it. They're just like doing the game.
Yeah.
And they're not thinking about, they're not comparing themselves. They're just trying to get better at this game. Now, can it addict us? Yes, it can, but video games can be a break from this comparison on social media. So there are all kinds of ways to find those places in your life where you're just in an activity that you love, that you're engaged in.
On that note on video games, I think this is a really important experience to share, is that I think they're very different than your kid or your loved one scrolling on social media.